Well, hey, my friends, it's been a few days since I've been on. But I'm back in the kitchen, and what I'm cooking today is some, these are the ends off of some spare ribs. The end pieces that I just cut off and chop up into pieces. And the hubby likes me to cook these down with some red pepper soup and meal gravy. So that's what I'm about to do. To start out with, I'm going to put a little water in this pot. Then I'm going to dice up one large onion and put in there. And this is a white onion, and I really don't like white onions, but that's all I had. And I said we use what we have. Then to that, I'm going to add just a little bit of this chicken bouillon paste. And people ask me, why do you use the chicken bouillon or chicken? I like it. I did a teaspoon. I like the flavor that it gives my food. That's why I use it. You don't have to use it, but it enhances it. It kicks that flavor up a notch, and I love it. Then I'm going to add some house seasoning. Y'all know my house seasoning is salt, black pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder. And I use a generous amount of that. I'm going to add some crushed red pepper flakes. Probably half a teaspoon of these because these are extremely hot. And I'm also going to add some Creole Zydeco, House. A little of that in. And I'm going to put these on and start those things to cooking so they can start to get tender. Also use about a tablespoon of this fresh minced garlic. About like that. Okay, now I'm going to make some cornbread. I'm going to try to measure it out. I never measure, so let's see. I'm going to use, now this is plain yellow cornmeal. I'm going to use 1 cup of that. And this is some self-rising flour. And I'm going to use a cup of that. So we got a cup of plain yellow cornmeal and a cup of self-rising flour. To that, I'm also going to add a teaspoon of baking soda. And 1.5 teaspoons of salt. And I'm also going to add a half of a teaspoon of sugar. And I can't add more than that because the hubby doesn't like sweet cornbread. And I've got my buttermilk. And I'm going to start with a cup of that and see where it's at. And I'm going to use two eggs. And I do not break those fresh eggs directly into my bowls. I learned that the hard way. Two eggs, and this is just some cooking oil, and I'm going to add probably 2 tablespoons of cooking oil to it. I'm going to give it a good mix. Yep, that's all I'm going to use is a cup of flour, a cup of buttermilk, and a cup of plain yellow cornmeal. Now, I make cornbread so many different ways, and I will come back and show y'all some different ways I make cornbread. Hot water cornbread, cornbread pone. I do cornbread so many different ways. And I've got some grease heating up. I've got a little oil heating up over here in my skillet with just a little cornmeal in it. I think that's hot enough. And I'm gonna hear that sizzle. That's what you want to hear. And I'm putting this into a 375 degree oven, and it'll probably take it 12 to 15 minutes. If it goes any longer, I'll let y'all know, but that's normally how I bake it. And I'm just gonna take some of that hot bubbly oil and put it all up. That's the way my mama used to do it, so that's why I do this. And we're going to go right into the oven with it. I'll show y'all when I take it out. So I ended up cooking the cornbread for 18 minutes. See how pretty and crispy she turned? Y'all hear that? Okay, now it's time to make the meal gravy for the soup over here, the ribs and the broth that's cooking. So I just added a little bit of cornmeal and just add some water to that. And I'm going to give it a stir. Get it all combined. And all I'm going to do is just pour it right in there. Just like that. And I'm going to let that cook around a few minutes. A little bit longer. And she's going to be ready to eat. And that's all it is to it. That's how you make your meal gravy right there. A lot of people say, what's meal gravy? Well, that's meal gravy. Mixing cornmeal, plain cornmeal, with some water. And I'll show you what it's going to look like. Can y'all see down in that pot without that steam? Do you see that? See how that has thickened? That's meal gravy. I'm going to let it cook for simmer for about 5 more minutes, and then I'll plate it up. And okay, there it is. There's the rib tips with the meal gravy, fresh purple whole peas, the cornbread, and rice and gravy. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Love y'all. Have a blessed evening.